On this episode of Thirstee Coconut, we sit down with Allira Brown, who is the Learning and Careers Mentor at the Melbourne Indigenous Transition School, also known as MITS. For the past 5 years, Allira has helped young Indigenous students from remote communities transitioning into life, learning, and leadership in Melbourne. Today, we talk about cultural safety, education, identity, and what it takes to truly empower the next generation, both in and out of the classroom. Allira, thanks so much for joining me. It's a real pleasure to have you on Thirstee Coconut.
Oh, it's really great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. MITS does such amazing work. I did a bit of research on, kind of what MITS gets up to and the sorts of programs that MITS involved in, and all of the students that MITS has helped, not only students, but the communities from up north and around Victoria, has really helped in terms of education and obviously transition. But I wanted to firstly understand, and we can deep dive into all of that in the show. I wanted to first understand what inspired you, Allira, into sort of working with MITS. What was the reason for why you wanted to eventually become the Learning and Careers Mentor there, and obviously 5 years in?
Yep.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. So growing up, grew up in a small country town. Went to a few primary schools, 2 high schools. Then finished year 12. Went on to university and full-time work in the end.
Yes.
Then
what did you study in university?
I started off with visual arts because I left school, really enjoyed art and still dabble in it every now and then when I have time.
Yeah.
And then I still do have the aspirations to be an art therapist.
Yes.
But long journey with that and need to work, all sorts of life stuff.
Of course.
And then started with visual arts, just do something I enjoy.
Yep.
And then get that little bit of art stuff up my sleeve as well.
Yes.
And then through that I had a few ups and downs, and then I went into youth work.
Yep.
And then I had to do some work placement, that sort of stuff, which led into working with AIM, so the Australian Indigenous Mentoring Experience.
Right.
And actually, which first introduced me to MITS through mentoring there through their homework sessions. So I'd be there once a week for about an hour.
Yep.
Then led to casual work in the boarding house when this was 2016 when we first started. That's sort of how I fell into boarding, and that sort of kicked me off to where I am today.
You might have mentioned this earlier, and apologies if you hadn't, but you're an Indigenous, you're of Indigenous background, right?
Yes, I am. So, I'm a proud Gunditjmara woman from down Warrnambool Way. And then, a lot of my family, I've got some family still down there, and then a lot of my family are around Melbourne now.
Which makes it a lot easier, I guess, in a sense, culturally, for you to work in the role that you sort of do today at MITS, right? I imagine that would be the case.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've had some family come through MITS, through our program, the students. And then I've also had, through the work I do with schools, different family members I work with, community members, just familiar faces.
Yep.
And then just people that I meet along the way. Turns out that we're related or know of each other. Yeah, so there's lots of different connections with my community and family and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
And so with that then, what does a day in the life of your career at the moment look like for you as a mentor? I'm sure it's hectic. I'm very busy.
Every day is so different, which I love because it's not just you walk in and it's just your normal everyday day job.
Yes.
It's not tedious. It's just, like I could think that my calendar is just empty or I've just got one thing on, but I walk in the door and it could be anything.
What's an example of that?
I could walk in, the kids are home for different reasons or everyone's at school, that sort of stuff. I could have, just getting the kids off to school, then doing some admin, have some school meetings. So I work with about 8 schools across Melbourne.
Okay.
So I work mostly with our senior girls, so
Okay.
year 8s to 12, and they're spread across those schools.
Yep.
So it's different things with them, whether it's talking with, so they've got a support person at
Yes.
each school, so I liaise with them constantly,
Yep.
pretty much on speed dial with a lot of them.
And it's so good for them, isn't it? Because it means that they can learn at their own pace. It means they
Yeah.
can get the help, the deeper level of help that they require
Yeah.
if ever they need that, right?
That's it. Easy.
I imagine with the other roles within the MITS organization, if I can call it that, your role sounds super important, especially working very closely with students and the kids that are transitioning, right?
Yep.
So MITS centers well-being and cultural identity in everything that it does.
Yep.
Is what I've seen. How do you ensure, among all of the things that you've just shared, that students feel safe, they feel they feel seen, they feel strong in their culture identity while they're away from home? Because I imagine that would be a pretty tough thing for the kids to be away from over a
big
long period of
time.
time.
Yeah, because a lot of our students are from like the NT.
Yeah. Very different to Victoria, right?
Oh yeah.
In all aspects.
Yeah, 2 big different worlds they're walking through, and even our Victorian kids, huge difference to
Right.
Melbourne. And just like no way I could have done it at their age. Even when I moved out at 18, it's just huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge just decision to make, especially when you've got things going on at home, and I know even when I'm unwell, you just want your mum or your dad. You just want to be at home. And if, like I said, if something's going on at home, you just want to be with your family. We also have external psychologists and all that sort of stuff that come in, and also we go to them so that the kids have the option if they're not comfortable being with like MITS staff, which is totally fine because sometimes, it's their home at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we make every kid's different, as we know. Every person's different. So we just make things work and just go with it.
Do you see any changes also in terms of their perspectives that they bring through? Any changes in terms of the classroom lessons or the lessons and the planning that's being applied as well? Do you see some of those perspectives kind of being woven into or changed through lesson plans and so on?
Yeah. Even through being in this role, so I've done quite a few different roles while I've been at MITS, for example. And from when I started to where I'm at now, that work within the curriculum and like having different kids through the schools, things have just been adapted to other students as well.
Right.
Whether it be through English texts or just way assessments are done. So if it's easily accessible for students. So instead of writing a huge essay or doing a huge question and answer paper, or like a senior VCE, it's called a SAC. It's instead made into workbooks. So it's more accessible for students that just find things broken down step by step, more visual kind of learners.
Right.
So then it's passed on to not just the students I work with, but students in other classes or in their class.
And they feel a sense of empowerment within themselves, right? They would have come in not really knowing, what is this program all about? Where am I going to be am I even going to be here in a few months' time?
Yeah.
Will I even like this? Probably super afraid.
Oh, yeah.
To then leaving after all the support that, they've been given, and not only from MITS, but obviously the family as well. That's such an amazing transition.
Yeah, we really look at it like a 2x2x2 model.
Okay.
So we've got our year 7s and 8s. they come to MITS, they go through like the 7-8 program,
Yes.
get them ready for year 9, that transition.
Yes.
Then year 9, 10, settle in to their partners, pathway schools, and get you through year 9, year
Yes.
10's looking at those senior years,
Right.
looking at VCE or VCE VM
Yes.
or what's next.
Do they look at VCAL as well? Because
So
obviously
VCAL is now VCE VM.
Oh, they've
Yeah,
changed
so
it.
they've recently changed it.
What's the VCVM stand for now?
So
Victorian
the
Curriculum.
Victorian Certificate of
Certificate.
Education Vocational Major. So
this is Victoria wide.
Yeah. So it's the new VCAL. So it's pretty much the same thing as VCAL, just a new name really.
Gotcha.
They wanted to make it more on the same level,
Yes.
like name-wise, because they'd seen across the board like,
stigma.
oh, you're doing VCAL, oh, you're stupid. Like,
Yes.
you
Remove
know.
the stigma from VCAL.
Yeah,
when really,
so-
actually, VCAL is very important for a lot of people,
100%.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like, VCAL,
We all eventually go out in the workforce.
literally, yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Like, I've seen a lot of people, like friends, family, all sorts, like that have done VCAL,
Yes.
and they're so successful. They've got like their own businesses,
100%.
and like there's no difference.
Not at all.
But,
I think it's
yeah.
more the difference is which is the one that you feel most confident in
That's it.
entering. Which program is going to give you the biggest opportunity at life when you go out into the workforce? Ultimately, both will give you a pathway into the workforce. Not just workforce, but obviously you may want to one day be a business owner or an entrepreneur or whatever.
Yep.
Both will give you that opportunity.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. And since COVID, the education system's changed so much.
Really?
Yeah, like
What's the biggest change that you've observed?
you still get your ATAR, all that stuff. There's more online for university TAFEs. You've got your free TAFE now. There's always been, you finish university, you get your ATAR.
Yes.
Finish high school, get your ATAR. And then after, if you take a gap year, you're then a mature age student. So you
Yes.
don't need your ATAR after
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
and
imagine
even-
people would be doing that.
Yeah. And then even after school, you don't necessarily sometimes need your ATAR to get into university or TAFE or whatever.
There's a lot of focus on the ATAR, isn't there? When
Yeah.
really the focus ought to be on the student's ability to,
Yeah.
sort of integrate into the workforce
Yeah.
and even just in life after
100%.
high school, isn't
100%. Like we look at success in so many different ways. It's not
there? Indeed.
like it's not an ATAR score. It's not a VCE certificate. Like we've got kids doing VCE to get an ATAR. We've got kids that have done a VCE that is just they get the certificate and it's unscored. So they
Yes.
don't get the ATAR. They don't get those study scores, all that stuff.
Yes.
But they still get the certificate.
Yeah.
It's no different really.
That's right.
Or they get a school certificate. So whatever school they're at, they'll get a certificate and they're saying they finished year 12, they've done all this.
Yes.
They'll get references, they'll get all sorts, like they'll do resumes, all sorts. They'll do short courses, like they've done first aids, barista training.
Amazing.
Some have gotten different like trades, like forklift license, white cards, and also like working with children checks, all sorts, work experience.
Every possible avenue that the student can get to be successful and to live a full and I suppose a full life that allows you to be, to be a person that can integrate into the community and be successful in life and all those things. That's the whole point of it, isn't it?
Yep, 100%. It's not like when the kids' exams, for example, I had end of term, they had their exams, a lot of them.
Yes.
They were stressed, as any kid is. And they're like, oh, I'm not going to get, the good grade and that. I'm like, it's not about the grade. It's about how you feel, like how you
Love
feel you
that.
do. And like they did amazing. They did it. They got a great grade.
Yeah.
It's
And in the end, it's not about the grade, is it? It's about being consistent. It's about sticking to the schooling and,
Yeah.
you know, kind of getting through that, because that in itself is such a tough thing to get
100%.
through, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If I think about, so we're talking about transitions and obviously then eventually community partnerships and that sort of thing. In terms of transitioning not only to Melbourne life, but into the partner schools or the and homestays and all that sort of stuff. What is involved in I suppose some of those aspects? Can you tell me a bit about, you know, sort of, it might be school visits, it might be family communication. What exactly is involved in that transition?
Yeah. So when students are first like applying for MITS, like we'll go through that application process. They'll do an expression of interest. We'll go through that. They'll do an application, all that sort of stuff. They'll get through that interview process. So we actually go up to where they're from, which will happen in a couple of weeks, and we interview them in person. We stick to a small amount of communities to keep that relationship strong, those connections,
Right.
so that we know like we have that trust.
Yes.
And it's not just they're from MITS, like like that kind of thing. So it's like, that's Allira, like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
They're coming from MITS. Oh yeah, no, that's cool. Like they're good sort of thing.
It's almost like a brand, or you're carrying a kind of sense of familiarity among the community,
those familiar
right?
faces.
Build that trust.
Yeah, and then like you've got those family connections, and it's not just like a kid coming from somewhere that doesn't know anyone. We have had that, but yeah, we tend
Rare
to we
cases.
tend to try and keep it with connections.
Yep.
And it just makes it just so much smoother, and it keeps that cultural connection, that sort of stuff. So it just like I said earlier, that holistic approach, and
Yes.
it helps with that their community school connection. Like it just all just flows in together.
Yes.
So we go up, interview them in person.
Yep.
And like we speak on the phone to them beforehand. Then once successful, we sometimes we'll get some kids down. If they're family and stuff, they'll come down for graduation.
Nice.
At the end of the year before they start year 7.
Yep.
But at the start of the year they start, we go up when we go and bring so we travel up every start of term, end of term to supervise the kids to and from, just for safety, obviously.
Yeah.
Because with no direct flights, unpredictability
And they've
of
never
flights.
flown anywhere.
Yeah, a lot of them
never left their community, so
That's it.
they're going to need that.
Yeah, and they're so young, and just anything can happen.
Yes.
It's just it's big safety thing. So, and we can go see their families if we need to, and just that again, that familiar faces, those connections again. It's just keeping it
First
all.
name basis. There's a face behind
That's
the
it, that's
organization, and
Yeah, they get to know the people they're sending their kids to,
Yes.
and keeping that trust. Then when we go up at the start of the year, we have an orientation process. So we're there for about 3 days. We have their families there as well in Darwin, and we go through all the things we need to. If it's enrollment, paperwork, all sorts. Run through, logistical things,
Yeah, of course.
and just introduction things and stuff.
Yes.
And also have a bit of fun.
Yeah, fun is important.
We take them bowling, all sorts of stuff, and a little bit of fun in between.
Some of them, I imagine, would never have had a chance at bowling in before, right?
We take them to the snow as well.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's a fun time because obviously no snow in the NT.
Yeah.
And it's just
that would have been like,
it's just amazing. Like it's just so sweet.
Yeah.
And then they just throw snowballs at you, and you got to run away. But it's all within the fun.
Yes, indeed.
And then we bring them back, and we get family to come back down a lot as well.
Love that.
And then and then with their transition to their pathway schools, we so our students will find out this term where they're going, hopefully, for next year, our year
Yes.
8s. And then next term's about going out to their pathway schools. They'll go out for visits, and then they'll go half days, then full days. Towards the end of the year, some schools will have them there for a week or two to
Okay.
be with their cohort as they begin their year 9
Yes.
Head Start transition process.
Yep.
So then they get to know who they're in their class with,
Yes.
and just be in that school community and get ready for next year.
So much involved.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a
Yeah.
never-ending schedule that just keeps going.
Yeah.
It's,
Each
yeah,
year
like
it's evolving too.
yes.
Every year we learn something new, and we make it work with the schools and us, and they every year it's different for them because they got to make it work for their students as well, and then the teachers. So it's just got so many moving pieces,
Yes.
and it's such a big logistical
It's a massive,
thing.
yes, it's a massive. And every year I imagine would be a bit of a project. You treat it like a bit of a project as well because not everyone's the same, as you say.
Yeah.
And so for you, Allira, in terms of your role as a mentor, not just an educator, by what I'm hearing, especially for the students who are first in their families to pursue the secondary education, how do you help them to see what could be possible? I know you talked earlier about, it's difficult for them to see what the future is going to look like and obviously build that trust with the people of MITS. How do you help them see what the future or what might be actually possible for that student when they come into MITS?
We've taken some to different events at universities, like ACU do some events, and then stuff that other staff do. They've told them, they've told the kids about,
Right.
And it's just really showing them what's around, as well. And it's such a hard one because everyone has their different thoughts and feelings and worlds, and every day changes, and there's not much where some people are, and there's you can access anything.
Yes.
No matter where you are.
It almost feels no different to any other person of society who's coming out of primary school and going into high school, and maybe their attitudes towards high school might be the same. As you say, teenagehood is a different beast altogether when you're dealing into those changes in life that you go through as a teenager. Both hormonally and obviously societally, and with the expectations of the pressures that people face into at that young age. It can become quite a complex situation when you're dealing with different people, different upbringing, different backgrounds. And then, you can't take it for granted that just because your family is of an education background, for example, that you two are going to, share the same values. It's
That's
just
it.
not something you can take for granted, is it?
That's it. Everyone's on their own pathway and journey. And, we've had kids be like, oh, well, everyone else is doing this. Why can't I get to the point where I can?
Yes.
And it's like, well,
and
you don't. You are in your own way. You're on your own journey. You're on your own path. And if they end up not staying in Melbourne and going back home, it's not a failure. It's your own journey, and we have other options back home. They can work at home. They can still do further study at home.
Yes.
We have connections in Darwin or Victoria. They can go to different schools. There's so many different options and pathways. But it's just that tunnel vision of,
that's right.
No, this is it, and that's all I have.
It's the mindset piece, isn't it? And the thing is, it's not necessarily that that's a one and done. You've finished high school, and that's what you've got. Then from there is the end of it. It's actually any other possibilities that you think could be defined as your future and your success is whatever you take from that point necessarily, not
Yeah.
necessarily where you're living at that point in time. It really is within your mindset and the discipline that you take away from what you've learned over the years, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So the next question I have for you then, what's your most used phrase in your role? What's the phrase that you use the most in your role?
Sounds like a you problem.
Sounds like I love that. Does it work? For you at least?
Oh, it's all with the kids. Obviously, when it's not serious situations,
Yeah.
the kids will come to me with different things, and they're like, "Lyra, I need to tell you something, but you can't say it sounds like a you problem." And I'm like, "Oh, I think you just answered the
they've got your
question."
trick.
But yeah, that's usually a good go-to.
I love that.
But yeah, and yeah, it's probably the one.
So good. Okay, the next one I have for you is, what's the funniest moments you've had, or funniest moment you've had at MITS?
Oh gosh.
Do you have one that you can recall?
Probably the most recent one would be would have been like Halloween time last year. So yeah, the kids wanted to dress up all sorts, and I was going around getting the kids for something, and they were starting to dress up because we have a few, because we've been around Richmond for a while. We're sort of taking over Richmond Hill,
Yes.
and a lot of the community in Richmond will have different things set up for the kids to be able to go like trick or treating and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like we set up a little path and stuff for them. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them were dressing up in that. And I'm getting the kids going around, and I walk into one room and go to grab, like it was a 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
And like, come on, come on, let's go. And then I get to the end bed.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the girls is just painted orange.
What?
And she's painted and dressed up like the Lorax.
Right.
And just looked at me, and I just was like, done.
She did that. She did that herself. Was that unaided?
It
Oh
was
my
just-
gosh!
Was not expecting it.
I love that.
Yeah, I was just,
That's hilarious. The Lorax. What a great. And that's unsuspecting. You would never think anyone would be dressed as a Lorax.
No.
And it does look frightening, doesn't it?
Oh,
When you
I
look
just,
at the,
like nothing surprises me anymore, but that got me.
that's very clever. In
yeah.
fact, super thoughtful.
Yeah.
Because usually you'd go for the Casper, or you'd go for
Yeah,
the,
no.
sort of
The
Adam's
fake,
Family or whatever you're going. Yeah,
it had the
exactly.
bald cap, or
Yes.
orange, had the little fake
I love that.
moustache
That's
and all.
super
Oh,
creative.
It's hilarious.
Oh, that's definitely a treat in my. That would
Yeah.
come as a treat. If she knocked on my door, I'd definitely be handing a treat. Next question I have for you: what's the best advice you've ever given a student in 5 words or less?
Probably more than 5 words, but it's okay to have a bad day.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. That's great. What's the one item? The last one for you. What's the one item you can always carry in your bag at school? Don't tell me a Swiss knife.
Oh gosh, a lot of pens because
Okay.
they always go missing. Yeah,
Yes.
because we've got these new MITS pens.
Okay.
And they're like kind of like fine liners.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, can't leave them anywhere because
I love
they're
that.
gone.
I love that. If you were to have 3 things that would make that crack that coconut open for success, like think about those 3 layers, what would those things be for you?
Yeah,
You think about your life to date,
yeah,
what has got you here, and what do you think is going to sustain you through
Yeah.
life, at least in the next, I don't know, foreseeable future?
reconnection.
Connection?
Like, with family, culture,
Yes.
everything in between.
Yes. So that's the first one.
Yeah.
The inside of the fleshy part of the coconut, what would that be for you?
Probably adventure.
Yes.
Just
Tell me about that.
just being open to anything, like back to that opportunity sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Just going with the flow kind of
I love
thing.
that.
Just seeing, getting out of the comfort zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be free to so you're saying so the connections are really important. And the third one for you?
Probably trust.
Oh,
Yeah, trust yourself.
Yes.
Trust your gut.
Yes.
Trust the people around you, trust the process.
Yes.
Um,
That's right. At the heart of it, isn't it? The heart of everything is so important is the trust, isn't it?
Yeah, because if you don't trust anything, then you're not going to really do anything else.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to be wanting to withdraw and not follow through with anything, so to speak. And like it just really flows into everything. Like you're not going to keep those connections and like go on those adventures because you're not going to trust anything.
Yes. Yeah. And it's okay to fall over, as you say as well.
That's it. It's okay to have a bad day.
I love that. Yes, it ties back to your, okay to have a bad day. If I could finish off with some of the really cool milestones that MITS has had over the years, I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but just to get it out there, 2016, MITS opened in Wurundjeri country in Richmond, where it welcomed its first cohort of 22 students and, Year 7 Indigenous students for the remote end of NT down to and regional as well. 2017, then MITS had their first cohort transition into Year 8, partner schools launching the Pathways program as well. For ongoing support beyond Year 7. And then senior boarding expansion, I think, took place post-2018. They opened their senior boarding house at 139 Richmond Terrace for the alumni girls, and then later expanded to new senior houses at 364 Church Street and then 371 Church Street. Like you said, there's a whole community of MITS there in Richmond Hill. And then 2023, the school then expanded to Year 8, to include Year 8, to then making it into a 2-year transition school. I think you'd also talked about that two by two model as well, right? And then 2025, the start of term 2, a brand new dedicated Year 7 classroom, Year 7, Year 8 classroom building at 283 Church Street, which I think is a short walk from the boarding precinct.
Yeah, very short walk,
And so I thought I'd just highlight those milestones that MITS has had, and you've been obviously involved in those incredible milestones as well over the years.
Was there in 2016, more volunteer with AIM.
Yes.
And then I came back to MITS in 2021.
Yep.
And then 2022, I was running 139 Richmond Terrace.
Yep.
2021, I was just in boarding coordinator. We spent most of our time in quarantine in NT in Howard Springs to get the kids home for school holidays.
Yep.
So I think we spent about 2 months all up in Howard Springs quarantine.
That's nuts.
That was a time. It was like,
one for the history books.
Oh, yeah. That was, wow. I don't want to go back there. And then, based out of 371 Church Street. And, seeing it all evolve, and it's just been phenomenal. Like, it's just, the growth we've had, still surprises the CEO to this day. And I think our strategic person, he's gonna hate me for that.
He knows who he is.
Yeah, he's gonna, every time our CEO says something about a new building or mentions something, he just shakes his head and kind of walks away because it's just like it's more stress and work for him. But it's just always more aspirations and just we just see so much potential in these kids, and it's our communities and our families and our kids. It's just what they're wanting, and it's a bit without them there would be no MITS.
I love that. And so with that, I wish you all the very best as you go forward in your role and whatever it is that you sort of eventually become and grow into, whether it be MITS or outside. And I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an absolute honor.
It's been great. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Allira.